Hello everyone, my name is Jess Arriola Barnett and I am the 6th through 12 Social Studies ISS for the Southeast District. And today I'm going to talk to you about the inside-outside circle. Why would you use this strategy? Well, this strategy is used to review key concepts and to build academic talk with your students. It's great for all ages. The strategy is an opportunity for students to speak to and listen to each other. So not only are you practicing academic content, but you're also practicing life skills as well as communication skills. What is this strategy? It's a structured method for sharing ideas, reviewing information, practicing academic talk, careful listening, and public speaking. So how do we do this strategy? Well, there's a total of 9 steps. The first step is that you give each student a slip of paper or card with a question, vocabulary word, or some other topic that they need to explain. So for example, if you are reviewing for an assessment, maybe you have some slips of paper or index cards that have vocab words. Maybe some have the essential question on there. Maybe some have a specific topic that you're discussing within your class that's going to be on that assessment. The students are then going to have to explain whatever is on their card. The second step, give the students 2 minutes to think about their topic and write notes on the paper or card. The third is to divide students into 2 equal groups. A good hint for this is that papers or cards that you use, whichever one you choose, can also be color-coded for easy division into 2 groups. If you don't want the color code, maybe you say, hey, if you are wearing the color purple today, you are going to be part of group 1. If you are wearing blue today, you are going to be part of group 2. Or maybe you separate the students into 2 equal groups as they come into the door. What I mean by that is you're standing at the door and you say, with each student coming in, group 1, group 2, group 1, group 2, so on and so forth. So then that way you have a little bit of control with those 2 equal groups. The fourth step, place half the group in the inner circle directly facing a member of the second half of the group in an outer circle. An alternative to this is to form parallel lines. You want them to see each other. The fifth step is to provide a limited amount of time for the partners to quiz each other on the topics from their papers or cards. So I would go into this having a specific time established. Maybe that's 2 minutes per person, or 1 minute per person, or 3 minutes per person. It's completely up to you and it depends on what you put in that card. But I would go into that having established that time frame so you can appropriately plan for your class. The sixth step, coach the students to speak in complete sentences and to restate the question in their answer as they speak to their partners. This is a great time for students to practice the skills of restating the question, speaking in complete sentences, using academic vocabulary. You can even coach the students to speak using specific words from your class. So maybe the vocab list is on the board or you have a word wall that the students are going to refer to. Maybe you've used specific documents, primary sources in your classroom. This is a great opportunity for kids to refer back to these primary sources, and you could walk them through on how to cite sources in their answers. This is the meat and potatoes of practicing speaking in complete sentences, restating the question, using that academic content and language. The seventh step, coach the students to ask their partner questions if the partner is not able to readily respond about the topic. So a lot of this is going to be saying, oh, well, if this student needs help in responding to the topic, this is you monitoring the class, recognizing that, and then speaking to that other student and saying, hey, how about you ask this student this question. And it might be some hand holding at first, but the more you get used to this and the more the students get used to this, the easier it comes. There are some resources out there on questions that they can ask that help to guide social studies conversations in class. The 8th step, have the outer circle move to the left or right 2 or 3 partners down. With parallel lineups, you're going to have the students move from one end to the next end, and then the others kind of move down. That way it's the same concept of going around in a circle. You can also form a conga line. Use conga music to cue the students when to move. This is a great classroom management strategy when it comes to movement in your classroom as well. You can say all students will dance while the outer circle of the line moves, whatever you might feel comfortable with in your classroom and depending on your classroom setup. But that music is a cue to move, and then when it goes off, it is a cue to stop moving. The last step is step 9, and that's where you will repeat steps 5 through 8 as necessary or as your time permits within your lesson plan. Here's some tips and tricks. Use the music. It's fun and engaging to the students, and then tell your students your classroom rules and expectations for this activity before starting it. This is part of setting that stage. So before I leave you today, think real quick, how would this work in your room and with your content? What would you be able to do with this when it comes to your content area and an upcoming lesson? Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see you during our next CCR day. Bye, y'all.